He's had two unsuccessful presidential runs, including 2016 when he called President Trump a cancer on conservatism. Now he calls him boss. He runs one of the president's $30 billion, 14,000-person departments. Alex Miller joins us tonight. So, Alex, this is one of your episodes in your series, right, of the cabinet secretaries in the Trump administration and the departments they oversee. Not always in the best of spirits, or I guess people don't love it so much?
Well, I mean, in the Trump administration, the cabinet secretaries he chose were sometimes adversaries to the very departments they worked for. This week we're talking about Rick Perry. Prior to his confirmation, he had sometimes a negative, albeit sometimes funny, relationship with the Department of Energy. Now he's the boss of the people he wanted to get rid of.
It's almost too cringeworthy to forget.
It's three agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see. Oops.
Former Texas Governor Rick Perry forgetting which departments he'd eliminate as president. Fast forward 6 years later, he's running the very department he couldn't remember. Though he's not a physicist or nuclear physicist like former President Obama's picks, Perry did spend 14 years running an energy-rich state. During his confirmation, Perry touted his state's advancements not only in oil and gas, but also in wind and solar. He took the secretary job after two failed presidential runs, including against President Trump in 2016. Perry headed to Washington with close ties to the Texas oil industry, including director roles on both the Energy Transfer Partners and Sunoco Logistics Partners boards. As he was being sworn in, those companies were vying for government approval of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Rick Perry's intelligence has plagued him throughout his tenure. He reportedly did not know that a large part of his job would include overseeing America's nuclear arsenal. Still, during his confirmation hearing, he told members of Congress he promised to protect scientists, carefully dispose of nuclear waste, and advance science, technology, and energy during his tenure.
So since taking over the Department of Energy, Perry has proposed some pretty big cuts to his own department. I spoke with Luke Bassett, he works for the Center for American Progress, about some of the decisions that Perry has made since taking over the department. During his confirmation hearings, Rick Perry touted his advancements with oil, gas, but also with wind and solar as being better than the Obama administration. Now that he runs this department, how's he faring?
Former Governor Perry points to a lot of the successes that are very real in Texas, and maybe overlooks some of the energy market dynamics that helped bring those successes about. It was a mix of good policymaking by the legislature, by Governor Perry, and a lot of investment, and seizing the opportunity that the rapidly falling costs of clean energy and oil and gas resulted in.
I want to ask you about this proposal that he just submitted about propping up coal and nuclear plants through higher payments for the power that they generate. There's this debate about whether the government has control over this industry or whether there's really a free market to begin with. What do you think about that?
They are really a state-by-state or region-by-region economic entity, and that was in part designed by Congress. Now with Governor Perry stepping in, Secretary Perry stepping in, he's really looking to stimulate investment in and continued economic success for coal plants and nuclear plants as well. And the trick is, again, the Energy Department doesn't have regulatory authority over those plants. What he's done he's turned to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and he said, these plants serve different purposes. He's argued that they are essential to grid reliability, even though that goes against a study done by the experts and scientists and engineers at his own department.
Do you see this as part of the Trump administration, a broader part of the Trump administration's goal to revive the coal industry?
Almost definitely. And, I think that what is alarming about that is it's not based in being honest with the people that they are trying to respond to, in explaining the realities of the economic competition, the decreasing demand for coal. All of these points combined are making it more difficult for coal mining to continue.
So despite many of the people within the department maybe not thinking he's so prepared for the job, if you think about it, the last two people we've talked about, DeVos and Pruitt, he hasn't had kind of the resounding hatred or lack of support from the people within his department like the other two have.
And not many major gaffes, which many people predicted he would have. He really hasn't had that many.
Nope, maybe it's the glasses.
Yeah, the glasses helped, right? I saw that on Time Magazine. It said like they're trying to make him look smarter.
Yep. Maybe it worked.